While he does make great plays, there is also a way to approach playing against Micah, as we know, because we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl during those years.
Brew, your reaction to Jerry's latest comments.
And we shortened them for brevity.
Yeah.
He said a little more,
Yes,
basically talking about how Micah can be exploited against the run.
Well, look, they should try to run at him. That's what a lot of teams did to him. They've done it to both, great pass rushers. I guess that's what they'll try. It might be their best strategy. What was the question?
The question was,
who's under the most pressure?
Which quarterback's under the most pressure once you got your reaction to that Jerry Jones sound that I thought you'd be more fired up about, to be honest with you.
I assume one of you may say J-Lo because they're expected to win, but I look at it this way. Yes, he's expected to win. Dak isn't. Nobody really is expecting Dak to win. But if the OKC Thunder were playing the Portland Trailblazers, of course the Thunder are expected to win. But is there pressure on them? No, because they're that much better. Green Bay is so much better than the Cowboys right now. I see no pressure on Jordan Love. Like, he's going to go in there, even if he's just solid, average, they're going to roll. To me, the pressure's on Dak because a few months ago, they had a big three in Dallas. Now, I know they weren't like a Super Bowl contender, but it was CD, it was Dak, and it was Micah. Now they're all gone except Dak. He's the last one standing. And when you're the highest paid player in NFL history, even though we understand he's not working with much, I think the frustrated fans in Dallas are going to blame Dak if he doesn't go out there and cook, which I don't think he will.
I think they're going to blame Jerry. And I don't think this quote helps.
Yeah, I'm actually with you, Brew. I said Dak as well, because there is no CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, when your defense is playing as poorly as they are, you rely on the offense. Well, no CeeDee Lamb. You're going to look and say, Dak, can you get it done? Yep. You're a pass-first team. Before any running game that's being established, you're a pass-first team. And so when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, the only way that they will be in any game is if Dak elevates everybody else around him. When you're on that field, and you talked about the big three, this is why you have quarterbacks that you believe in, that you pay big money to overcome what you lack. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys lack a lot on offense. They have injuries at the offensive line position. They have injuries, obviously, at the perimeter position with CeeDee Lamb. They have no faces, pretty much, or no personnel. That sounds very disrespectful, but a lack of personnel defensively, and so they're poor defensively. That puts all the weight on Dak. Because there's a quote that Jerry said right after this trade as well, and it reads like this. Well, I thought it read like this. Where is it at? I suggest we
get ahead and run the ball.
I suggest we get ahead and run the ball. You know why he said that? Because he understands the guy that he's making this quote about. If he doesn't do that, he's going to wreak havoc. So that puts pressure on Dak to score, to not allow Micah Parsons to come back and disrupt everything that they potentially could do and have the return that he's hoping to have.
Listen, I agree with you guys. I think the pressure is on Jordan Love just not turn the ball over. I think that's the extent of his pressure is don't do what you did against the Browns. I also am more interested with what you were more interested in, which is the Jerry Jones quote. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, for me, it's very obvious the pressure is on Jordan Love. I mean, because there's real Super Bowl aspirations here. And we're talking about how bad of a team the Dallas Cowboys are. And so it's just like, yeah, the pressure the pressure is on Jordan Love right now. And that's how this works when you have the expectations. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If there was no pressure on Jordan Love, well, then you would be like, well, then what do we expect this team to be able to do? There's pressure. Jalen Hurts week 1 going up against the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl MVP. What does he have to prove? Not a whole lot, except for do it again. So it's like, who's under more pressure? Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts and the Eagles? And it's like, and again, this is what's funny, because when we talk about who's under more pressure, from who? The media, from the fans, from the team itself. Because if we're talking about the fans, are we saying, are the fans expecting Dak Prescott to be able to beat this great Green Bay Packers team? Is the organization expecting Dak to be able to rise to this occasion? Is the media expecting it? And like this is what we've been talking about this so much recently, and it's why it's been perfect that we got such a layup. You know, it was served to us on a silver platter with Patrick Mahomes struggling so badly with the injuries and the suspensions and stuff. And so we keep inventing this scenario where it's like, that's why we paid Dak Prescott all this money to be able to like rise to the occasion to do like all this stuff. And it's like, but the best quarterback who you say in the NFL, he's struggling to do that. Why do we think then the lesser quarterbacks will be able to do that? And to be fair, it's not like, I even think this offense is all that limited right now, even with CeeDee Lamb though. But to be fair, you're going up against the Green Bay Packers now. If it was a little bit different, if you were talking about going up against like the Raiders, the Panthers, the Falcons, I don't know, some of these non-true bona fide Super Bowl contenders, but you're talking about bona fide Super Bowl contenders. And like the same thing that everyone defended Patrick Mahomes was like, yeah, listen, they were in the game kind of, and like the Chargers are a great team, the Eagles are a great team. And so it was like, does it matter that he didn't look great or that he didn't win? It was just like, you know, it wasn't a complete disaster, so like that's actually pretty good. And so like now you got to offer that same respect to the Packers, and I think the pressure is also on there now, specifically on Jordan Love, because you did lose against the Browns, and just like how Jalen Hurts lost to the Rams, even though obviously a significantly better team going up against this Bucs team that's like banged up, and that the Philadelphia Eagles should win this game. It's like, who's more on pressure? Baker, you know? Because he has to rise to the occasion. Or Jalen Hurts, it'd be Jalen Hurts anytime you're a great quarterback and you lose a game and you're on a great team and you lose the game the next week. It's like, don't lose back-to-back games, especially if you're the quarterback and you contributed to that loss, not acting like. And I'm not trying to, you know, paint the picture that Jordan Love had this like awful game where he played terrible, because that's not the way how I view it. But like, you know, he turned the ball over, not a great moment. If you played 2% better, you win that game, and then there you go. But like now, the pressure's on, and it makes sense. It does. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me right now. Now, if you had to ask the question, like, who was under more pressure to play great, or who needs to play great in order to like win, or, you know, whatever the story is, like, okay, yeah, like that kind of changes the conversation a bit. But I don't know. I'm not putting what do we talk about here? Dak Prescott needs to prove that he can carry this Cowboys team right now. And it's just like, I don't know. I think pretty much everyone sees this Dallas Cowboys team as kind of a mess. The owner is making ridiculously weird, wild statements right now. You're going up against the Green Bay Packers, who have been proven to be an awesome team this year. Like, I don't know why. Where's the pressure coming from? That's what I don't understand. Like, where is the pressure coming from on deck? I see where all the pressure can be from Jordan Love. Whether it's from the media, whether it's from the fans, whether it's from the organization itself, the team itself, like that all makes sense. It's like Jordan Love, hey, we're a great team. We're going up against a team that's not so good. We see quarterbacks feast off this team. The pressure, you know, a lot of times, like, the pressure is like, just, we need you to compete at the level that you're supposed to compete, right? Like, you know, everyone else is playing bad. Like, I felt that pressure before, no matter what sport I'm playing. But this is the easiest sport to use. This is an example would be baseball. You're going up against a pitcher that everyone is just hitting off of. Everyone's just getting hit. Everyone's just getting hit. They're wallpaping the ball, the great hitters, the bad hitters, whatever. And now you come up the plate and you're like, you feel the pressure of like, I got to get a hit here. Like, everyone else is getting a hit. Everyone else is mashing the ball. I can't not get a hit. And then you get 2 strikes on you, and you're like, oh my God, if I strike out against a guy who's pitching 45 miles an hour right now, like, this guy's throwing it just right down the middle. And I just fouled 2 balls off. I just missed them, and I fouled them off. And now I swing and miss. Like, oh my God, I can't have that. I'm better off just hitting a weak ground ball, because at least I could say, I just missed it. If it was a little bit second, then like that ball goes 350 out, you know, out a home run. But like a strikeout is like, oh no, you can't do that. And like you feel that pressure, like to a degree, that's a flavor of the pressure that at a minimum a Jordan Love would have, where he's recognizing, yeah, man, everyone's beating up on this team. This team is not supposed to be good. We're favored by 7. And like I feel the pressure of like this is a layup. I can't blow it. Like I gotta get it here, man. You know, so and it's just to me it's the exact opposite for Dak Prescott. It's going up against a pitcher now who's throwing heat, who's throwing just 99, just painting the corners with a dirty curveball, and everyone's striking out, everyone's getting out. I remember I broke up a no-hitter against a minor league pitcher, and it was just like everyone was getting out, and I walked up there and I had zero pressure because I was like, everyone else is failing, I can fail, and I was loose and I was free. Broke up a no-hitter, and it was like, all right, let's go, let's do it. And so it was like, you know, like it's just what were the expectations if I struck out in 3 straight pitches against that pitcher? I don't know. This guy's throwing heat. This guy, you know, this guy made it, you know, like, so I don't know. So it's in a lot of ways, I feel like this conversation is a bit of a forced conversation. It's just like, we want to talk about the Cowboys, we want to talk about the Packers and them playing each other, but there's not a lot here because we don't really believe in the Packer. Believe in the Cowboys. We believe in the Packers. This is the Sunday night game. This game was supposed to be a lot bigger and grander, but it feels like the Packers should be able to win this game. It feels like this game should be like on the more boring side, unless the Packers just light up the scoreboard. But even then, you know, that can only be so fun sometimes because you're just like, well, you know, you're beating up on a team that's just a mess right now. If anything, it ends up being more entertaining about like how bad the other team is then rather than how good the other team is. And that's kind of where the Packers potentially can put on a show. But listen, man, it's the NFL. Things get weird. This game randomly ends up being like 242-24 going into like the 4th quarter. Like that wouldn't surprise me either. So we'll see, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about who's under more pressure, Jordan Love or Dak Prescott? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.